Hi, my name is Kiara Stimson. I am a fourth year student at Dillon University. I major in psychology, and today I will be giving an oral presentation of an experiment that I would like to conduct with women. As I mentioned before, I would like to conduct a study with women. The question that I have in mind for this study is, what are the common types of discrimination that happen against women in the workplace? I hypothesize that if there are an equal number of men and women who hold the same position in the office, then women are likely to experience glass ceiling in the workplace. From 1970s into the 90s, women have made serious From the 1970s to the 90s, women have made serious progress in the workplace. Then that progress was stalled, especially when women start to acquire high tier positions. A survey found that women employed in majority male workplace are more likely to say their gender has made it harder for them to get ahead at work, that they are less likely to say they are treated fairly in personal matters. As all things should be equal, there is a gender lumpsidedness in the workplace. This researcher, me, wants to evaluate women working in corporate America settings of five Fortune 500 companies to the potential that willing participants will allow the investigator to seek out approximately assuming that all things should be equal, there is a gender lumpsidedness in the workplace. As an evaluator, I want to work with no. As a researcher, I want to evaluate women working in the corporate America setting of Fortune 500 companies. To the potential of willing participants, I want to seek out approximately 75 women in high tier positions of chosen 500 companies. The companies that I am looking at are companies such as Walmart, AT&T, and Exelon, I believe. The type of study that I will be conducting is a qualitative study. I would like to administer surveys using a measure of discrimination to seek the results that I am looking for to identify the common types of discrimination women experience in the workplace. And I will be referring to the work discrimination survey / chronic work discrimination and honest in a harassment survey. This survey particularly helps measure out discrimination that work in the corporate America settings. From the 1970s into the 90s, women have made serious progress in the workplace. Then that progress had been stalled, especially when women start to acquire high positions. A survey found that women employed in majority male workplace are more likely to say their gender has made it harder for them to get ahead at work. They are less likely to say women are being treated fairly in personal matters. This act of unjust and prejudicial treatment of different categories or people or things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex, is defined as discrimination. A woman plans to excel to the top position in the environment of where they perform labor often experience workplace discrimination. Workplace discrimination follows the remains of an employee or job applicant that is treated differently or less favorable because of their sex or gender, or because the person is affiliated with an organization or group that is associated with a particular sex or gender. Here and there, laborers experience discrimination in light of their gender and similar to their race or ethnicity. For an example, a woman of color may encounter discrimination in the work environment uniquely in contrast to a white female caliber household by her co-workers. She may be underpaid, assessed cruelly, or disregarded for advance as a result of the blend of her sex as a woman and of her race as a black woman. It's being black, I'm sorry. The popular notion of glass ceiling effects applies that gender disadvantages are stronger at the top of the hierarchy than at the lower levels, and that these disadvantages become even worse later in a person's career. Glass ceiling is something that I theorize that women likely would experience in the workplace because typically if a woman is placed in a higher position, the position may be of a high the position may be high, but in the management level it may be middle or the low of the low for the women. And women often are subjected to these terms because of their gender and the things that they go through in work and things that prevent them from excelling. As I mentioned before, I will be sampling 75 women. I will split those women up among 3 Fortune 500 companies. So I will be surveying 25 women for each company. About 25 women for each company. Questions in my survey will be demonstrated as such. I will ask in the survey, for an example, please tell me how often have you experienced these scenarios in the last 12 months? And one will be, how often are you unfairly given a job that no one else wants to do? You will rate the response of a 0 to a 5. 0 being not how often, with 0 indicating not being not given unfairly job as much, and 5 being given a lot of unfairly jobs that nobody else wants. Another question that I ask is, how do your supervisor or Another question I ask is, how often do your supervisor or co-workers make slurs or jokes about women? Again, 0 indicating that not very often your co-workers make these type of demands towards women, and 5 indicating that it's very likely or it happens a lot that your supervisor or your co-workers make slurs or jokes towards women.